Hello everyone, welcome back. Something completely different today. A movie I did not think that I was going to see. I know I'm completely late on the bandwagon of this, but I had no idea that this film existed. Don't worry about spoilers just yet. I will get into those in the later half of this video. This entire first half will be spoiler free so that I can tell you what I think of the movie before I get into theories and ideas on what the hell we just seen, or I just seen. I have no notes whatsoever, not even bullet points, so I'm just gonna be completely random and starting in different spots all over the joint. Now, where do I start with this movie? This is like a Japanese anime in the same tone and style that Island Assure's Hardcore Henry is, which is Russian. And it's made by Spanish people and in Spanish. So the film has a very international feel, but with everything I've seen, I just had to get here to talk to you about it because it's piqued my interest completely. If you're someone that can't stand Spanish and subtitles, there is an English dub for it. And it's one of those films that is in the same vein as the first Saw movie, where it's just a room. You can tell from the start that this is a very independent film that doesn't have a massive budget, but has gotten very creative with what it's been given. Again, no notes, I don't know any of the actors' names or the director or anything, I just know what I've seen. And our main lead looks like a Spanish Adam Driver, and he appears in this room. And in this room he has one other cellmate, and in the middle of the room there is a hole. Once a day a square platform will come down into that hole, and there'll be food there for them to eat, and then it'll leave again. It's like a prison or an experiment for whoever's at the top preparing the food and then sending it down level by level. And it has a lot of parallels to society and how the people at the top will just pig out and do whatever they want because they're rich. And then as it slowly goes down, there's less and less food for the people below them. This movie is very, very heavy on symbolism. You could go on about it for hours. I'm sure there's a billion explained videos out there. But that is the main premise of the film, except their main character has entered this prison or facility voluntarily to try and get a diploma after 6 months of being there. And with people starving on the lower levels, it resorts to cannibalism and all sorts of horrific fucked up shit. Now for me, I can handle pretty much anything, alright? You give me vampires, you give me werewolves, you give me shark movies, you give me anything, I can take it. But the one thing that gets under my skin is cannibalism. And it's not physically seeing cannibalistic scenes in the film, but the notion of what cannibalism is itself, that you're having a conversation with someone and then you're eating that person. It's just so twisted to me, and all the different angles and approaches that they go to with cannibalism in the film are great. Really, the less I say about this film, the better. You've understood the simple premise, and then as it goes along, you're slowly learning these things one after another, and that keeps you there watching the film instead of having me tell you all these things and you're like, okay, yeah, I get it, and you're not as interested as I was. Again, this film has a very obscure premise with these cell rooms and 2 people per cell and these square platforms that come down, dropping food to each level one after another. But that's the fun of it. It is like an anime, or most animes that I see, they give you this premise and just a billion questions and don't tell you anything until the very end if you stick with it. Again, a little bit reminiscent of Saw, where you just start with this room and these 2 people in it, and they're slowly getting clues and ideas as to what's going on as it goes. Or at least with our main lead in this film, he's slowly learning everything as the audience learns. That's why I don't want to say too much. Except this film doesn't have a twist ending like Saw, where you figure out everything that's really going on. This is more like The Shining, where it's open to interpretation and you could take it in multiple different ways. Other than that, I don't want to say too much more. I just want to grade the film, and then I can get into some theories that I have of my own after you've watched it. It was a film so good, I had to see it twice, once with the English dub and once in the original Spanish with the subtitles. So I'm going to give The Platform an 8 out of 10. This was a massive surprise. I didn't even think I was going to be here talking about it. But once I seen it, I was fixed in the first 5 minutes. Do know that ahead of time, this is a horror film, and that if you're wheezy and don't like a lot of gore and cannibalism, don't bother. Otherwise, a very, very interesting film with some brilliant social commentary. Again, I can't really go into the details of that social commentary without spoiling it. So just go out there, go watch it. It's like an hour and a half. It isn't really, really long. And have a great time. Now, Spoiler time, full spoilers. I want to talk about my interpretation of the ending and what I think everything really meant. So if you have not seen the film, get out of here now. I'm going to go full spoilers on you. Alright, you gone? Everyone's out of here? Cool, that's great. Alright, hang on, you're back. You've watched the movie. Awesome, let's go. The film's opening line, there are people that are above, there are people that are below, and then there are people that fall. Crescendos throughout the whole film. The ones that are above are greedy, they're going to eat as much as they want, they don't give a shit. The people that are below know what they have to do to be able to portion everything out right, but they don't have the guts to stick to that or to really keep to that notion. And then the people that fall aren't just the ones that physically fall down the hole in the prison cell, but are the ones that are the same as the below, except they're willing to sacrifice and give up everything to try and make that change happen within this prison cell. This whole film is like a very dark reflection of reality, how the millionaires up the top, if they only shared a small percentage of the wealth they had, everyone in the world would be able to eat healthy and eat well. As much as the filmmakers try to push this point forward and have the characters try to commit to this idea, the characters ultimately lose, which stands in real life because millionaires aren't sharing everything that they have with us. And when they become millionaires, they think, why should I share with the person below me? This whole film has like 12 different layers of social commentary. It's insane. The final floor when it's revealed is 333, and there are 2 prisoners on every floor, which accounts to 666, the devil's number. So there's room for a theory that this isn't a prison, but actually hell. Although I have a different theory. My theory is that the girl that they find at the end does not exist. I don't think the girl that they find on level 333 is real. I think that our main character is hallucinating. For 3 reasons. 1, there cannot be anyone under the age of 16 in this place. 2, our main character has been hallucinating for a while, and it's safe to say that he's hallucinating her too. And 3, even if this girl did exist, there is no way that she would be able to survive on level 333 with no food constantly. I think the panna cotta dish that they're trying to save is the message, because we get this scene midway through the movie where the chefs on level 0 are holding up the panna cotta dish and a hair and putting it up next to people's heads to try and find the hair. Which I think is the real ending that's thrown in the middle here somewhere, that I think the panna cotta was the message and the men did make it down to level 333 but then died. The panna cotta went straight back up. I think the chefs at level 0 think that the panna cotta wasn't eaten because there was a hair on it, to show how distant and little understanding they have of everything that's going on beneath them. That even when someone is to make that sacrifice to fall to try and make change, that they're not even going to understand that change themselves because they're at level 0. They wouldn't know. I think there's a very heavy amount of political ties to this as well. That the people that are in high positions in government trying to make the right decisions for people do not understand whatsoever because they've never had to live in poverty before. There is copious amounts of symbolism and all sorts of things you could attribute this to. Is it hell? Is it actually a prison? Is it about government and how they don't understand? Is it about how millionaires could share their wealth with everyone and everything could be easy and sweet? There's so much packed into this that you could interpret this film in 20 different ways. And I think that makes this film really brilliant. There's no wonder that it won so many awards. Great film. If you haven't seen it, go out and give it a watch. Wouldn't say it's a timeless classic, only time will tell with that. But man, I can't believe it slipped under my radar. Don't let it slip under yours. Great time. Well, if you count cannibalism as a good time. Have you seen The Platform? What did you think? Tell me your own theories below. I want to know. I want to start a bit of a discussion on this film that was lost. At least to me. Have you heard of it before? If you haven't already, consider subscribing. If there is something I have not talked enough about on this channel, it's horror films, and I want to talk about a lot more of them. If you've made it all the way through to the end of the video, or you watched until I graded the film, thank you so much, and hopefully I can see you guys next time. Bye guys.